Welcome back to our channel. This is the place for trail tested tips, tricks, and information on hiking, camping, backpacking, adventure travel, and beyond. Today we're talking about trekking poles, when you should use them, why you should use them, and how you should use them. Are you ready? Buckle up. We're talking trekking poles. I will be the first to admit that I don't use trekking poles on every single hike. Now, I only use them if I'm going to be on a trail that is slippery. So in the fall, winter, spring, there's going to be ice on the trail. Then I use them for a little bit of extra stability. And I use them in the spring if I'm going to be on a trail that has some water crossings. I think if you're crossing a river or a stream, trekking poles can be really useful in that situation. And then I used them a lot when I was pregnant. You know, you get that baby in there and your balance can get a little weird. And then I used them a lot when I was packing kids in a backpack carrier. And then I also use them if I'm going to be hiking alone and there's going to be an area with some, potentially dangerous wildlife, because I think, they're not designed for, whacking a mountain lion, but I think that you could definitely use them for self-defense and protection out on the trails as well. Some ultralight backpackers use their trekking poles to help build their shelters. I'm not that ultralight. I don't use them for shelter construction. So a couple things to look for when you're purchasing a pair of trekking poles. The first thing is to pay close attention to this handle. I always look for a cork handle or a handle that has some really good, comfortable material. First of all, you don't really want to be gripping your trekking pole with a tight grip, but when you're moving, you want something that's going to be soft and comfortable on your hand. The next thing to look for is a trekking pole that has adjustable levers here. These are fantastic because if they start to get loose, you can tighten this bolt right here. I have found a lot of people who have those twist trekking poles where you twist them to extend and twist to tighten. I have had nothing but problems with those, even really expensive ones. I would avoid twisting trekking poles because you just can't, there's no way to really lock them up if they start to malfunction. If they start to collapse when you're hiking, there's just nothing you can do about it. But with something like this, you can stop and adjust it on the trail. The third thing to look at is the tip of the trekking pole. A lot of national parks and a lot of state parks actually require that a cover goes over the tip. These tips can actually damage the trail and the vegetation alongside of the trail. So if you're in a place that requires that tip, buy a pair of trekking poles that has those tips. These have them somewhere. They got lost. I don't even know. One of the biggest mistakes I see with people using trekking poles is not putting the straps on correctly. So if you're a skier, this is how you put on ski poles. This is the proper way to wear trekking poles. But you see this loop right here. A lot of people go down and put their trekking pole on like this. Well, that's pretty useless because if you're moving, if you're walking, do you see how easy it just slips right off? And also, if you're skiing like this, you can break your arm, you can break your wrist, you can do a lot of damage. So think of your trekking pole like a ski pole strap. And the way that I teach my kids this is the rabbit's hole. Your hand is a bunny rabbit, and the pole is a carrot. So the bunny goes up the hole and bites down on that carrot. So the bunny goes up the hole and bites down on the carrot. What this does is this is going to lock your hand into place. This is going to relieve a lot of wrist strain and pressure, and you can also adjust this strap here so that when you're trekking, you have, and you can adjust the strap here. So you're actually gonna not lose this pole. It's gonna be a lot more comfortable and just work a lot better. So it's just gonna be a lot more comfortable. It's gonna feel better. If you go down like this, you have to constantly hold on to that pole. But if you go up and down, then your hand is automatically in that place Just relieves a lot of wrist pain, wrist pressure, makes it easier to relax your hand because you don't want a tight grip on that trekking pole. Another mistake that I see people making is they use their poles, is that they set their poles to one length and they don't adjust their poles to account for the terrain. So if you think about it, a lot of times cross-country skiers, we go for armpit length poles. Trekking poles, you could go a little bit lower, about a 90-degree, like a downhill pole there. Then that's good for flat land. If you're gonna go up a hill, then it pays to shorten your pole a little bit, because think about it, the hill's going like this, you're going up the hill, you don't need tall poles going up the hill. You can actually shorten your poles and they'll be easier to use. Now when you're going down a hill, and this is an old snowshoe trick, lengthen that pole out, and then what you can do is actually put those trekking poles right in front of you, and they can kind of help you down that way. So overall, if you aren't a trekking pole user, you should try them out and see what you think. You know, like I said, they're great on really challenging terrain, ice, snow, crossing bodies of water. They're fantastic. Look for that locking mechanism there. Avoid the poles that twist to adjust. I've just seen so many of those malfunction and break. Look for that nice soft handle. Look for adjustable pole straps. Use those poles correctly. Know how to put them on properly, and then adjust the length of your pole as you're hiking, and you'll find that this actually becomes a pretty useful tool. That's all I have for now. If you'd like more information about hiking, camping, backpacking, whatever, go ahead. You can find us on all the socials at Hike Like a Woman. Drop a comment below with your thoughts on trekking poles. Let us know if you use them or not. And I will be back next Wednesday with another awesome video. Until then, have a lot of fun and we'll catch you then. Bye-bye.